Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to News Dose, and a big story just broke online. Not only did another Xbox Showcase game leak out, I mean, everything seems to be leaking out by this point, but this is a first-party game, a very exciting one. But there's a twist to this announcement. Now, I think this could be a good thing for a lot of people, but I don't necessarily think everybody's going to see it the same way. There could end up being some controversy, and I'll explain why here in just a moment. Now, this isn't the only Xbox game that we're going to talk about today, though, so do stay tuned because we will also talk about an update for Call of Duty Black Ops 6 as well. Information for that game has really picked up steam this past week. But yes, let's just go and get right into the big news here. The next Doom title by id Software leaked out online. Yes, this is a very anticipated game, and this is according to Tom Henderson over at Insider Gaming. We all know that he has a great reputation, so anytime he leaks out something, there's at least a very good chance that it will come to fruition. And check out what he had to say. He said, Insider Gaming understands that the next game in the Doom franchise is set to be revealed during this year's Xbox Game Showcase on June 9th. The game, which has been under the codename placeholder title Year Zero, is understood to have the final name Doom: The Dark Ages and has been in development for at least 4 years. Now, he describes it as a medieval-inspired Doom world, which on paper, in my opinion, I think sounds fascinating. I've always really enjoyed that setting personally, and I'm kind of curious to see how exactly that'll work in a modern Doom game. But I know one thing here, I absolutely trust id Software. In my opinion, they're probably one of the most underrated studios because not only do they make excellent games, and really just some of the best first-person shooters, period, but their technical prowess is also something to behold. I mean, regardless of what they play on, they always look and feel so great, whether that be on Xbox, PlayStation, or, even something like the Steam Deck. I mean, truthfully, the Doom games look and perform fantastically well on the Steam Deck, and they're really just some of the best looking games on that platform. So, I mean, id Software, they just know how to make great games. And according to this leak, which I do believe, we're going to see this game next month on June 9th. So, that Xbox Showcase keeps sounding better and better. It sounds absolutely jam-packed. We've heard all kind of rumors, whether that be about Gears of War 6. We've heard about Indiana Jones being there, Avowed, possibly the next Perfect Dark. And it just seems like there's so many games at this event, including, apparently, Doom: The Dark Ages. This is going to be a must-watch showcase. But there does appear to be a twist to this announcement, as I mentioned earlier. Technically, as we now know, Doom is a first-party Xbox franchise now. And that does beg the question, will this game be exclusive or not? Now, if you would have asked me this question last year, I would have told you all it's going to be an exclusive, because that was the expectation that I had. But things have changed in 2024. We've seen this develop throughout this year. There's been that ongoing question with a lot of their games because Microsoft's new, more multi-platform approach. And well, according to two different insiders, it will be multi-platform. This is according to Nate the Hate and Jez, which both have gotten things correct in the past. In fact, Nate was the person that kickstarted the Xbox and Hi-Fi Rush multi-platform rumors. And in retrospect, he was 100% correct. So, I mean, you can kind of take all of this as you will, but this is what Nate said. To expand upon the report with some additional information, Doom: The Dark Ages will be announced at the Xbox Game Showcase next month and will be revealed as a multi-platform release. Yes, it's coming to PlayStation 5. Now, you can also see here where Jez said, breaking, the new Doom game is called The Dark Ages, and I can corroborate that it's going multi-platform too. Now, I think in the light of what's happened this past year with Xbox, maybe this shouldn't be all that surprising with their newfound multi-platform strategy. But at the same time, this is an Xbox showcase. And I think Xbox fans specifically want to see Xbox, be front and center. So if they really do announce one of their big new first-party games for the PlayStation 5, I think that's going to cause a lot of noise online, both good and bad. Now, this could be a good thing for Doom and id Software just because it does set it up for a better chance of success. But at the same time, I do also understand that the Xbox community will be a little mixed on an announcement like this, especially because Phil Spencer made this statement when they first acquired Bethesda.
Now, we know you all have a lot of questions. We've gotten a lot of questions since we announced this deal. But one of the biggest ones, Phil, is this question about exclusivity and how you think about that and how that's going to work with Bethesda.
Yeah, I see it. I see it in the community. I listen to the podcasts and all the questions. So I'm going to try to be as clear as I can because that's what I just think it's fair. So obviously I can't sit here and say every Bethesda game is exclusive because we know that's not true. There's contractual obligations that we're going to see through, as we always do in every one of these instances. We have games that exist on other platforms, and we're going to go support those games on the platforms they're on. There's communities of players. We love those communities, and we'll continue to invest in them. And even in the future, there might be things that have either contractual things or legacy on different platforms that we'll go do. But if we're an Xbox customer, the thing I want you to know is this is about delivering great exclusive games for you that ship on platforms where Game Pass exists. And that's our goal. That's why we're doing this. That's the root of this partnership that we're building and the creative capability we will be able to bring to market for our Xbox customers. It's going to be the best it's ever been for Xbox after we're done here.
So yeah, I don't really think Phil Spencer's statement on Bethesda's exclusivity is going to age all that well with this alleged incoming announcement. Now, to be fair here, he mentioned legacy games as multi-platform, and hey, maybe they believe Doom is one of those games. But if that's true, if they believe Doom is a legacy title, then, what about something like The Elder Scrolls 6? It's just kind of a mixed message, and that's what's been getting Xbox into trouble. I don't know, it is a weird situation, but, that's also kind of the MO for Xbox this year. They just have a very strange strategy with some of their mixed messages, and sometimes it's difficult to wrap your mind around everything that they're currently doing. I mean, it would be nice if they would come out and clear up some of the questions and some of the concern that their long-term fans have, but at the end of the day, what I can say for myself is that I'm super, super excited for this next Doom game. And hey, it will come over to Game Pass as well day one, so that's a huge, huge inclusion. And for that matter, Xbox Game Pass is really stacking up to have a fantastic lineup with games like Call of Duty Black Ops 6 and now possibly Doom: The Dark Ages as well. That's two major titles possibly coming over to Game Pass day one. Let me know what you all think about all this, though. First off, are you excited about the next Doom? Because, I know I am. But also, how do you feel about Xbox possibly announcing it for the PlayStation 5 at the Xbox Showcase? Do you think that's a good idea, or do you think it's a bad idea? I do expect differing opinions on this, but I do welcome the discussion, so let me hear it in the comments below. Now, let's go and talk about Xbox's other showcase, though, being the Call of Duty Direct. We are expecting a lengthy reveal for Call of Duty Black Ops 6 and the announcement that it will come over to Game Pass day one. I think that's going to be one of their big talking points at this showcase because it's a significant announcement for Xbox. But something else just leaked out about this reveal. This was revealed by the old trusty Tom Henderson once again, and check this out. He said Insider Gaming has been able to verify with multiple GameStop employees that Black Ops 6 will release on past generation consoles. Now, okay, I do understand that some people get a little bit annoyed by these Xbox One and PlayStation 4 games, because there is a belief that they're holding this generation back. But at the end of the day, this honestly does make the most business sense for Activision. And let me explain why. Last week, it was revealed that over half of PlayStation's user base still plays on the PlayStation 4. That is a lot of consumers. And as we all know, Call of Duty has a massive, massive reach. I imagine there's a lot of people who are still playing Call of Duty on those consoles. And as long as they perform well on those last generation platforms, Activision will continue to make them. Now, maybe in 2 years that'll change a little bit because, if you think about it, GTA 6 does come out next year. And I think that if there's any game that has the potential to convince a lot of those people on last generation consoles to move over to the PlayStation 5 or the Xbox Series, GTA 6 is probably the game that could potentially do that. Now, as for Nintendo, though, we all know that Microsoft and Nintendo has a contract to port future Call of Duty games to their platform. But don't expect that to happen in 2024. Tom Henderson gave us an update on this and said, as a part of the Microsoft Activision deal, which will bring Call of Duty to Nintendo for 10 years, it's understood that Call of Duty will be released on Nintendo platforms starting with the Switch 2, presumably next year, as the original Switch isn't powerful enough. So, yeah, I don't think this is necessarily all that surprising, but if you were wondering, there you go. I imagine their hope was probably for the Switch 2 to be out this year, but we've heard a lot of rumors about its internal delays, so that kind of put a wrench into things, and I guess we'll just have to wait until 2025 to see Call of Duty on Nintendo platforms. And you know what? Honestly, that is going to be a massive announcement in its own. Call of Duty is just such a big franchise, and to see that come over to Nintendo after all of these years, yeah, I mean, that alone is going to make the Nintendo Switch successor that much more exciting in 2025. Anyways, though, that's going to be it for this episode. But as always, if you enjoy these News Dose videos, do make sure to hit that subscribe button for more content just like this. But until next time, peace out.